Good evening, everyone. I apologise for my voice. It sounds a bit odd. But welcome to your Monday night's.
It's just northern, isn't it? I think that's
it's just reet northern with a touch of plague. That's what I'm currently rocking. Yes, it's Monday night's Plastic Crack Podcast, season 5, episode 38. Not many left in the year now.
No.
What do you reckon, Martin? It's good of him to turn up on his own channel this week.
Well, it is. If anyone's wondering why we're late, we were just explaining what we did to his channel last week.
Yeah.
so yeah, we're
late. We're talking about cracks. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Get it in early.
Just one of those things. Get it out of the way.
And a picture of you, the pink drink. Don't forget the pink drink.
Yeah, pink drink. That's important.
My brain is blocked. I mean, I had some weird stuff that weekend. I mean, that's Stout's one of them. But that pink stuff.
Do you think that's what's caused this learning? I
think it's mingling with the other human beings has brought this plague upon me. I only do it like 3 or 4 times a year, and I genuinely get ill afterwards as well. So I'm just carrying on the theme. So yes, episode 38 tonight. We're going to be talking about hobby fears, not serious fears, because we play with toy soldiers. There shouldn't be any fears at all, unless you got bayonets and pikes and you're going to stab your hands into them. That's a genuine fear.
Yeah.
Or painting French Napoleonic drummers. That's a genuine
Rubicon kit.
Oh yes,
people bringing armies in sandwich bags.
Oh god!
See, there's lots of them. You just
yes, that's not a fear. That's just insanity. That's just absolute rank insanity. Anyone that turns up with that army in sandwich bags, I salute you. That's just it's just a bit mad. Where are we? Yes. So don't forget, we are sponsored by Boards and Swords Hobbies in Derby. Has that spelling mistake always been on there?
Yeah.
I've never noticed it before.
Yeah.
We left it there to see if anyone had noticed. It's only taken 4 seasons to.
It just literally just jumped out the screen at me.
It's always been there. It was Ken. So there we go.
Well, there's a surprise.
Anyway, if you use the code PCP5 when you're checking out your order on the Boards and Swords website, you will get yourself an additional 5% off your already discounted purchases. And as always, if you need to find something, drop in and the chaps a line, and they will sort you out. I am pretty sure.
Someone did post up in the group, because I believe there's been a lot of orders for Midgard going in, that it does, that the discount definitely works on the Midgard orders. Yes.
I got mine in. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to that. In fact, we've got James on next week, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
We do, yes. And so if anyone has questions about Midgard or writing the rules or how it's been developed, 'cause it's taken a long time.
It has.
It's developed over a long time. Then over on just email them to us, or I'll put the link up for the stream probably tomorrow or the day after. Just post them in the comments, and we'll size, because it's going to be a really interesting one. We're looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it. I've been watching the videos on the Lardy's website on YouTube channel, and I don't know what it is, but I like the mechanics of the game so far. It seems to play for a pretty big rank and file game. It plays pretty quickly and pretty smoothly. It's got some really nice mechanics in there as well. So I, for one, am looking forward to it. Big thank you to everybody who's watching on the catch up. We do appreciate it. 6 minutes past, and I got that in really quite early.
Well done.
Well done.
And don't forget to do all the stuff, all the YouTube stuff. Channels down below. Like, share, subscribe, comment.
Stuff. You love that so much.
No, I don't. I hate it. I'm in my late 40s. I shouldn't be doing this. It's not a done thing. It really isn't. So yeah, tonight we're going to be talking about hobby fears. We've also got the penultimate. Is it the last or the penultimate OPC?
Penultimate.
Penultimate. Yeah.
So we're going to be periodically dipping into that over the next couple of hours to look at what was the theme this month. Last month or this month?
The one that we're about to do is terrain.
Oh, cool! Right. Yes. I saw a lot of cool terrain pieces in the Facebook group. We've also got. So we're going to get this out of the way.
Yes.
is
Yes.
is a man on the edge at the moment. So we've got
Surrounded by bolt action stuff.
I think Martin might break tonight. I'm just saying. I think we've heard so many colourful words already before we came on stream. Shaking of boxes and gnashing of teeth, and I think he could break tonight.
Yeah.
If we try hard.
It was close. It was close last week. Maybe it'll happen tonight. Maybe
So I should explain. We've got the second half of the Ccon raffle today.
Yes.
For the
yeah.
So,
so essentially, what happened was, for one reason or another, some of the prizes didn't make it to us in time for us to take to CrackCon. So
nothing to do with it wasn't our fault.
No.
It wasn't our fault, and they arrived while at my house while we were at CrackCon. And those are prizes from War Bases and from Warlord. And there's some nice stuff here. And what we thought would be the fairest way to do it, because we sold out of every single raffle ticket, and I think everybody who came bought a raffle ticket. I've entered the name of every, because Hayley keeps lists. She does.
Oh yeah.
She has a list. She has lists upon lists. I have a list of everybody's name who was at CrackCon who bought raffle tickets, and also there was one person who bought raffle tickets who didn't go to CrackCon. They're on it as well. So I've entered everybody's name. I had to sit there typing each name into this bloody thing. You'll see in a minute. Oh, should we just do it?
Yeah, just do it. Do it.
All right. Okay. Let me share the screen. So I have. Hang on. Let me share the screen here. I have typed everybody's name. Oh, come back. Where's it gone? Into this. Oh shit. There we go. Right. Hang on. Right. Can you see that? Does everyone see that?
No.
Yeah.
There we go. So everyone who attended is on this spinner. Okay. Everyone's name is on here once, but you can win multiple times. Okay. We're going to spin it. And if your name, we'll show what the prize is, and if your name comes up, then you are the lucky winner. Yes, basically. That's where
even Ken, but we just might not tell him.
So should we crack on with this? This would be the easiest way. So now we have we have pretty much everybody's contact details on here. If it's you that gets named, if you're watching live, then just email us. If you're watching on the catch up, email us or comment. But I'm sure we'll be able to get in contact with you one way or another, and we will post these out to you. It doesn't matter where you are. If you don't want the prize, you can tell us when we get in touch with you and tell us what to do with it. Okay. So yes. And the four of us are on here, and we are not excluding Ken from the
the only drawback is he can't be physically restrained this time.
Oh God! Oh yeah, no. He had sweaty hands as well when I was wrenching those down. So shall we kick things off? Shall we kick things off? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I assume I'm just in the corner right now, because all I've got in front of me is the spinner. Am I just in the middle? Down below? I'm in the middle. Right. So to start things off, courtesy of War Bases, just a reminder that all of this went towards our charities of choice. So thank you. These would have been won on the day, but start things off. We have the Black Sheep miniatures, which are made by War Bases.
Nice.
These are Western, and these are the brand new Pinkertons.
Oh,
okay. So very, very nice, especially for games like What a Cowboy and Dead Man's Hand. So let's have a look. So the winner, it makes noises, is going to be Carl. Isn't Carl he ran the Dead Man's Hand game, didn't he?
He did. Perfect.
There we go. Right, perfect.
Congratulations, Carl.
Right, hang on. Post-it note goes on there. Right, so well done, Carl. Those will be on their way to you. Now, next up, we have one of the brand new War Bases Type 22 yellow brick pillbox. This is one of the new pre-coloured.
Nice. So, that he was showing last week.
Yep. So we got one of these. So this is going to This is a much easier way of doing things. James Wilkinson, I believe.
Aha.
Yes.
Hey.
There we go. All right. James. Does he like World War II? Oh, yes. He's been doing P. Camo, hasn't he? It does
yes,
now.
he has.
Right. Oh, God. Right. The next one is a Type D pillbox. Same thing. The pre-coloured stuff. And the winner of this one is... Oh,
come
it's
on.
Steve.
Steve.
It's Steve. There we go.
Fix.
So there we go. That'll be coming to you. Now, I'm going to save these ones till last, actually. Next up, from Warlord, we have Is this new? You guys will have to tell me this. The Bedford troop transport.
It is relatively new, yes.
Yeah,
it is.
So this is the new plastic Bedford troop transport, which comes with stuff. It's World War II. I know that. The winner is. Oh, is it Jill?
Jill.
Jill.
It's going to be Jill.
Jill wins.
It'll be interesting to see if Steph ends up with it, whether Jill's going to keep it for herself.
I want to see Jill make that for next year.
Right. Now, next up, we have Bolt Action version 3 and the Francis S. Curry figure. Yes, so the brand new rulebook. This is going to... Please no. Oh, thank God for that.
Oh, it would have been funny if it'd been you. It was almost you, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's going to Tim Stevens. That's on his way to Hobbit. Right. Right. 1 second. The next one. So the next one, courtesy of Warlord. So thank you very much. Is the whole Battle of the Bulge starter set. This is what I was trying to get out the box, Dom. It just didn't want to come out.
Okay.
So this is the whole thing. A5 rule book. 2 starter forces, ruins, counters, the whole shebang.
Indeed.
So this is going to...
Come on, B Martin. It's D again. Oh my God. No, it's gone past. Jeff Scott. Greg Scott.
Great Scott. I thought I said Great Scott.
Great Scott.
Greg Scott.
Well done,
Congratulations. Now, the final one, and the one I don't think people are going to be fine with it. This is back to war bases. It is their pack of haggis.
That's the one we all want.
If you remember this, so if you came on the stream, so this is a pack of angry haggis from Bifrost. These look awesome. They've got a Haggai, yes.
Haggai.
A haggle of Haggai. Haggle of Haggai.
Yeah.
And the winner. Oh, I thought that was
Please let it be me.
Please let it be me. Is Andrew Ward.
Andrew.
Congratulations.
There we go.
Well done. I can't see what any of the comments have said during this. Thank you very much to Warbases and to Warlord for sending those. Sorry we couldn't do them on the day, but they would have gone to these people anyway. And this seemed the fairest way to do it. So thank you very much. I've got to stop sharing my screen.
And once again, thanks to everybody who did donate and all the money, because it was a shed load of money. £1,300 we gave to the 2 charities. So good job, everyone.
As I was saying to people over the weekend when we were there, technically we are still bigger than the Rolling Stones. The way that those raffle tickets were sold so quickly, and our tickets sell quicker as well. So technically we are still bigger than the Rolling Stones.
I just realised is Greg's the chap who he was just getting back into wargaming, wasn't he? Was Greg just getting back into wargaming? And he's just one that starts it. I'm sure it was. Yes.
Yeah, well, Charles might know him. He's going to love it.
Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, it is. But yes, we are bigger than the
bigger than the Stones.
Bigger than the Stones. It's official.
We are.
Oh yeah, I'd like to think so anyway. Yes.
That
Benjamin
according to plan.
Hey. They're probably in a better condition than me, though. So
They probably are.
Probably are, yeah.
Than all of us.
Hold on a second. We even look like the Stones. Hold on a second.
We look like the Stones. Oh my god!
I draw the line at some things, and that's it. Right, should we have a quick look to see who's joined us now before we get onto our own updates?
Yeah.
So David Baker, Hippos Hobby Hours, Mobile and Hostel, Edward East from a Parky Cardiff, John Sowerby, Allard. Hope you're feeling better, Allard.
Yes.
Carl Burks, Andrew King, Lionheart, Neil Oldham, Andy Sykes. He's the Clear Lennox painting 28mm gunfighters. Many have the wrong gun belts. Oh
dear.
I wouldn't know. And Andrew King, Chris Morris, Bicker City. Hello, Don. Hope you're doing well, mate. Carazette. Craig Williams. He's in Tasmania painting epic French Napoleonics.
Good man. Well done.
Go.
Swings and roundabouts. Sam is here. Andrew JF. Craig Williams. Graham's War Games Vault. Hello, Graham. He's painting at Medieval Swiss.
Somebody's getting ready for Age of Chivalry, clearly.
Yeah. Oh, it's a dank, dark Mercia. That sounds very dark. A dank, dark Mercia. I can just see that. Love the smell of a rule. Yes. I think many of us got our rule books, our NAM 68 rule books with the post.
Yes, I did. I've seen a lot of those have been floating about online.
They have. Very, very nice rule book. The smell was immense. It was just that new rule book aroma.
Was it the smell of napalm in the morning?
Thankfully not. That would have been accurate, but also probably mildly disturbing at the same time.
Slightly problematic. Yeah.
Yes.
Not sure the post office would deliver that, but
Yorkshire Dragoon, Tim's here. Andy Stocker, Mortzerk, Shring 7, Rogue Trooper. It's an autumnal evening here in Kent. It's just a bloody miserable one here. It's awful here.
It's bloody freezing here.
It's not cold. It's just I hate this time. I just hate this time of year. I just like the summer. Danny Dustin, greetings from sunny Los Angeles. Some things never change. Mark, Shakers and Spurs, hello James, Dutch Army Painter, Robert Smith, Benjamin Christensen, David Benton, friends of General Haig, hello Andy, hope you're doing well, mate. Trevor, Shell Shock Scenics, Mike Schubert from a windy Western Cape in South Africa. Osmozzy, Carson Lambert, still a kind of warm Denmark. Paul Crouch from Old Dominion, USA. This is interesting. James has been writing at Wars of the Roses Army list this evening.
Interesting.
Nathan, VK is here. Hope you're doing well, Fraser. Carver Fortress, Louis Baby, Steve Harbour, David Thu. Oh, the real Stee is here as well. There's now
the real Stee's here.
We've got the real Stee and the broken Stee.
Do you know what, Martin? We didn't see him last week, did we? So it must be the real Stee.
That's definitely come.
It must be, yeah.
Well, it's like some kind of like Spider-Man thing going
on.
Yeah. Old School FRP. Chris McCucci, Ralph Ashdown, Camberwell Johnny, Joseph Kanovitz. It's a warm and sunny North Carolina. He's just painting odds and ends and pirates. I wish I need an excuse to paint pirates. I've never painted pirates, apart from undead ones for War Machine. Double dip, Mark Reach is even all the first for me. I want to say, Mark, a big thank you for running that game of Chain of Command for us at CrackCon. I really enjoyed myself, even if I rolled badly and played like an utter lunatic.
Especially because Mark stepped up after Alex unfortunately couldn't make it, and he stepped up to run that game. So he got to experience my bad dice rolling in the flesh. It was just horrific. Absolutely, I've never known anything like it whatsoever. Rob and Rose Hobden, Rich M. Never a true word has been spoken, Dave. Yes, I am allergic to people.
He is.
Traj is here. Good evening, all from McCloudy Lakes, working on Seraphon Spearhead. Lionheart, the Invisible Spectator from a dank and damp, darkish Kent. Imagine trying to say that after 4 of those peanut butter and pretzel stouts.
Oh my God, no.
And I think we get Eric, first time listening from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Hello, Eric. Glad you could make it live. Rogue Trooper, Red Staff, I think we're getting to the end because we're up to the. Yes, we are. We're at the end. There we go.
Sorry. I think you were going for the same one I was. That's the one.
Yeah, a 2-week holiday, and Hobbling, we're probably going to end up with another boat of Perry jokes as that last time. Right, I'll do my update. There isn't one. I didn't have the strength, energy, or will to paint anything. However, I did watch. I finally got round to watching the Gettysburg film.
Oh, right. What? The
4.5 hours. Yeah, the Gettysburg, the 4.5 hours of it.
The proper one. The one that's long. As long as the whole battle was. Well,
I had I had nothing to do. 2, I couldn't do anything but cough. And 3, I was just on the couch. So I thought, you know what, I'll just find it. And I bought it and I watched it, and it was bloody good. It was really, really tremendous facial hair on show. Oh, tremendous facial hair. Someone said it was like Miller was in every scene. But it was a really good film. I said I'd put off watching it for ages because the idea of watching a 4.5 hour film slays me completely. But I just thought, well, I'm not going anywhere, so I'll watch it.
Did you watch that film I recommended? Well, about the killer pumpkin?
No, I didn't. I might have to this weekend.
So I suggest alcohol, and I can't believe I'm going to say this. There is actually a part of it where it's really slow, and I had questions at the end. Mainly about how it got made. But it's called Carved, and essentially it's all about a pumpkin that is it's like a radioactive pumpkin that's sentient, and it ends up in a pumpkin carving contest. And when people start trying to carve it, and it sees all the other pumpkins being carved, it goes on a mission of revenge against everyone that's carved the pumpkins.
I mean, you two, well, not so much from you, Martin, but he puts all those weird beers into his stomach. Now you're putting weird films into his head.
Yep.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, what that one I was watching the same time as you. It was called In a Violent Nature. It's actually made this year. Recommended it. Just nothing new to the slasher genre, but it just feels different. It was very, very good, and some absolutely fantastic use of different items to dispatch people with. Brilliant. You'll never look at a log splitter machine in the same way ever.
Excellent.
It was really good. Anyway, on to more pressing matters. Dom, what have you been up to?
Oh, hang on. There we go. What have I been up to? I haven't done a huge amount because I only got back from Ludlow the other day, but on Friday.
Yeah, but when you say not a huge amount is quite different.
I only did one unit. So I've been very gentle, and it was the skirmish unit. So I did some dismounted Confederate cavalry.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, it came out all right, didn't they? Nice,
I like that.
Yeah.
What's the map? Who are they from?
Perry's.
Yeah, I really like the chap on the horse. It's particularly bedraggled.
He does, doesn't he? He looks really suitably war weary. Is that the word? He's got a pair of binoculars, can't quite see it, so he's sort of a scout. So so I enjoyed doing them. They were good fun. So that's finished. And that was it. Well, that's all I painted. I did have a very good game on Friday using. I don't know whether he's in the comments, but Michael. Okay. So this guy, I think I mentioned him before. He came down to the club a little while ago to say, could someone teach him how to play Black Powder? And I went, yeah, of course we can, no problem at all. And so, why do you want to know how to play Black Powder? And he said, I'm running a game at Partisan.
Oh, yes.
Massive refight. So, long story short, he was doing it with some mates, and they all dropped out for whatever reason. So he ended up, him and another mate who didn't know Black Powder, putting on a massic game, epic game of Napoleonic Leipzig game. So he brought them along to the club the other night, and they are blooming lovely. He's painted them beautifully. Yeah, but the funniest thing is, he set the game up. He was a version the French had to capture this village, sort of a Leipzig type scenario. And he didn't use any of his figures. He just sat and watched us. So he played with his toys all night. It was great. But Epic ranked up. Does look good, I have to say. There you go. That's it. That's all. Nothing more. Over to you, Martin.
So I've got to say, Dom, speaking of videos, I've been watching up quite a few of your Lion Rampant battle reports.
I've only played 2.
Was there only 2?
Yeah, I think so. Lion Rampant. I only played 1 or 2.
I'm pretty sure there was 3.
Oh, maybe it was 3.
I know Ken was in one of them.
Oh, could be. Maybe it was. I did. Mainly, I played them with Alec. Yeah.
I think Ken was in one. But yeah, they were kind of informative.
About how not to play it.
No. I'd say I did watch quite a few videos last week, but
I have to say, although I find the rules a little bit limiting, I actually have enjoyed every game I've played of that system for whatever reason. It's just been a laugh, but yeah, it's been good. So it's I know that lots of the guys down the club play it a lot. I haven't played it for a good while now. We just seem to be completely locked into Black Powder at the moment.
Well, I mean, I've been doing. So as people know, I'm doing my smaller basing ones.
Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
So
I did a bit of those over the weekend.
Nice.
Just got to put the cool basing stuff on. But yeah, I've been watching a few. Martin looks disgusted, by the way. Lion Rampant video.
No. I'm not saying anything, so I don't get accused like I did last time. Of the double standard where Dom can rag on SPQR, but I can't rag on Lion Rampant.
No, I honestly, I am looking forward to it. Though it's going to be something a bit different for me, and I'm painting Perry's miniatures and not destroying them.
I am so proud of you. Maybe that's why you're feeling so ill.
Maybe. It is. I do need to turn up something pretty soon and get on withdrawal symptoms. I don't know what to do though. I don't know what I'm going to do next with my 4th turnip regiment. Tufts and mud and shit on standby. Right, Martin, what have you been up to? Any Lion Rampant?
Oh yeah, loads. Yeah.
Not so.
Absolutely loads. Oh dear. So no, I've done quite a lot. So I finished all of the 2 packs of the Epic Punic Generals. So I picked these up when I went to the Warlord Open Day. So that included Hannibal himself, and so they are a lot. They're a lot nicer than I thought they were going to be. I felt, well, I'll show you in a minute actually on one of the other photos, but some of them have got a bit more chunkiness to them, and I don't know whether that's a deliberate casting, if that's a result of using this resin or whether it was a design choice to make them chunky. I quite liked it. So anyway, so there's Hannibal, and Mike Peters kindly gave me some Numidians that he'd painted up as a little present at CrackCon, so they made it onto the base as well. Nice. I can't remember which way round these 2 are, but one of those is Mago and one of them is Hasdrubal. Mago, I think, is the guy on the left, but he's got a bit of a gut, and I quite liked it, but I couldn't tell if that was a casting error or if it was it meant to be like that. But I quite liked it. I mean, you don't need these. They're completely aesthetic. There's a commander on all of the sprues, and they're 20 quid for a pack. It works out about, for which, when you sit and think about it, that does seem like quite a lot. But then they look a lot better, I think, than just a single chap on a horse. And they so, and then there's these 2. So all 5 of those bases are from the Carthage, and obviously you don't have to do them the way I've done them here. You can mix them up, make bigger ones, smaller ones, or mix them in the units. There they are all together with Hannibal in front of his army. I quite like I think I'll probably end up using them just as normal generals, even if they're not their historical counterparts, because they look better. And then there's the Romans as well. So there's Scipio Africanus. You see, I got one of the normal commanders, the chap on the left. I stuck him on there as just like another officer. So I'm quite pleased with how
they came out really nicely, Martin. Really nice.
I'm really pleased. I really like Scipio the elder there on the right, who's drinking from the wineskin. and got the attendant with the amphora and that. The only one I didn't paint up that came in the set was the newsreader chap who's in Rome. Because I didn't really, I was like, it didn't really seem to make sense to me for him to be on a command base. I was like,
yeah,
why
that
would
was
he be
slightly odd, wasn't it? I thought that.
Yeah.
I saw your video and I thought that was a bit odd.
Yeah. So, but I've got because so I bought all these before people say I got sent. But I did. Warlord have sent me that new scenario, like new scenery set, and in there's like a little bit of a temple, and there's the scene where I'm going to build it up for a bit of a camp scene. I thought he could be in a camp or something, like proclaiming
fair enough.
something.
Yeah.
So there they are in front of all the Romans. So we're going to be having a battle with them soon. Probably won't be using Scipio or Hannibal because their rules are mental. But I'll be using pitching two commanders against each other for a bit of a laugh. Obviously, you don't have, you could use the heroes of legend, they're called, or commanders of legend. You could use their rules of any of them. If you want these, they're purely as an aesthetic choice, basically. There's no reason to buy them if you don't want to. You're not required. When
I saw them, I thought 20 quid a pack seemed a little steep, but you do get a decent couple of extra figures in there, which I hadn't realised, and also the sculpts do look really good.
They are really, really nice. I was very surprised. I was kind of ready to not, because that's only the second bunch of stuff I've had made from this resin. I'm sticking together the ballista at the minute. That's why I was swearing. Another artillery piece that just got glue all over my fingers now. But these weren't so bad. No breakages. These were absolutely fine. The detail was really crisp, so I had no issue with these compared to that one I had where it snapped the other time.
I do think the new Warlord resin is really good. I have to say, I really think it's very,
it is.
very good.
I've got some. I'm currently working on some of the ACW commanders, and they're so crisp. The detail on them is really, really nice.
Yeah, I agree.
No, it's really nice. And then, like quite a few people, Great Escape Games have kindly sent me the mounted gunfighters, which are now on Kickstarter. If you go over to the kick, I don't know why I'm just showing those when I've got pictures, which are on Kickstarter now. So over, and I really enjoyed them. So there they are. First look at them. They're going to be in a video tomorrow.
Nicely.
So there they are. Really, really nice. I mean, so the options. There's a lot of options on there. They're really good. So one of the complaints I've seen is that people complain that it's the same heads as you get in the gunfighter box. Some people try to explain that away as, now you can have a mounted and dismounted version of the same gunfighter. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of heads in there. So in Dead Man's Hands, you need like 5 models. So, it's really not bad. But they were a lot of fun to paint on there. They're a bit closer. So the horses, I've got to say that the horse sculpts are some of the best. They're better than, in my opinion, some of the other ones which are held up. I won't say which companies as some of like these ones, the mains and certainly the reins as well. The what's the right word? The relief on them. Then the detail was less flat than on other things. So painting them was really straightforward. There's lots of bits and bobs you can stick on the horses, like saddlebags and rifles that are in I don't know what you want to call it, a sheath, a holder, a bag, I don't know. Lots of bits and bobs on there. And in the game, they got some fun rules. I was really pleased with this guy. I decided to give him a bloke and mutton chops. So they are a great deal of fun. I say there'll be a video out tomorrow, looking at these in more detail. There's already loads of info out there. They're smashing through their stretch goals. So go and check them out. In the game, you get 10 in the box, but most people I've spoken to, I think, are going to be splitting the box between 2 people because I can't ever really see you needing 10. people don't mount that, and certainly in our games, and I've played a lot of Dead Man's Hand. Very rarely do we ever mount. You start the game mounted often, and then get into where you need, then dismount, and then that's it. But there's some fun rules for mounted stuff. So yeah, hopefully they continue on this trend. It's a high quality kit, and I had a lot of fun painting them. So much so they moved up the painting queue, and now I've got to get on with this ballista before a game next week. So anyway, yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Nice.
No, I started working on mine at the weekend. I got to admit, the horses are brilliant. I mean, I generally don't like model horses. I don't get along with them, but they are so crisp. And like you said, the reins, they're so different compared to other kits. I don't know how they've done it, but lovely kit. Can't wait to be able to have the energy to start painting again and do some work on those. But looking really rather nice.
Nice.
Yeah. Should we crack? Do we want to go to the topic or crack on with a bit of OPC first?
Well, hang on, better load some pictures first.
Can we do some topic while he loads?
Do some topic while I load up some stuff, because I need to clear some space first. Yeah. Hobby
fears. I don't know what made me think of this, but I know what it was, and I'm going to show you the picture now, but it's also from. Excuse me. I'll be showing it later as well in the hobby updates. And it's that, right? So these are painted by Christopher, and they're the piano miniatures. It's from the Danube campaign, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It is.
Because I mean, they are insanely well painted. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
However,
done.
However, that amount of white and red gave me chest pains. I'm not gonna lie, and it got me thinking about what parts of the hobby that we don't actually look forward to. Now, someone said to me, "You've got to sit down and paint that amount of white, or we're gonna super glue some earphones to your head, and you've got to listen to the Smiths for 72 hours." I would be struggling. I would really be struggling. Because I don't like white. I don't like painting white things. I don't like opening white. As soon as I open the white paint, things go wrong spectacularly quickly, and I regret opening the white paint. but it got me thinking about what are those things, are those aspects of the hobby that it's not necessarily a fear, but something that you dread, that you don't look forward to. You know that rather than having a good time with some paint and some glue and some paints, you're going to be swearing and cursing and really wish nothing had happened. So mine's painting white.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I when I see those, despite all the Napoleonic uniforms I've painted over the years, when I see that sort of French uniform with the white panel running all the way down, I think I'll do a later period uniform that doesn't have it, because or do a light infantry that doesn't have it, because I do feel the same dread. Actually, hate it. But I don't know. Painting wise, I think. Thank you very much. Anything particularly, I don't. Hello, Hayley.
There we go. They said hi.
Hello.
She's just been to a shop.
Oh, lifesaver.
Emergency. Jill won a truck.
Jill won a what?
Jill won the troop transport.
Did I win anything?
No, you didn't win a thing.
Oh, treat. Waste money.
I don't think there's anything I don't particularly like paint. I mean, things like white colours are tricky. And I have to say yellow was always one that I really, anything yellow was always a colour that I really don't like painting.
Is that just going to be to keep his pills in?
But luckily, I don't have the opportunity to do it.
Oh, James won a.
She's going
through the names, deciding if these people deserve their prizes. I think so far. I think the most topical one is the fact that Carl, who put on Dead Man's Hand, won the Western miniatures.
I won a bunker. Unfortunately, it's not large enough for me to actually hide in.
You can try.
I can try. Wouldn't end well though.
I
But no, I know what you mean
No.
about yellow paint.
Yellow is a nightmare.
I just
a good
couldn't.
one.
Luckily, in most of the Napoleonic uniforms, or most of the uniforms I ever paint, it's only going to be a bit of, kind of braid or something, or a little bit of, I don't know, a turn back or something. So it's not that big a problem. But
No,
yeah,
the
horrible.
thought of painting mass amounts of it's just basically bright colours. It's just I mean, but I think I used to be terrified of painting landsnets. But now I really enjoy painting them.
Yeah.
So I think I've conquered that fear.
So that's because you had to go at it, wasn't it? That's why.
Yeah.
I have no problem with white, and I always work off a sepia base for white now, and then work my way up. So like the Ruckus warband I'm doing now is all based off white, and I quite like it. It's like the Cowboys just then. I wanted one in that creamy white because it's so rare that anything that's white is actually ever.
Oh yeah,
if you want to paint like a pure spangly white Napoleonic, then there's something wrong. I'll just go that they would the one day out of the barracks they did not look like that.
Yeah. If someone was shooting me with a musket, my trousers wouldn't stay white for very long.
Damn right.
White isn't. It isn't one of the issues. What I can't remember what it. I think it was when I did those Italians from Napoleonics. Actually, that I agonised over that for ages, and then I base coated the whole thing with sort of creamy coloured. Then I put a really watered down sepia wash over it, and then just worked it up with like a stone color, and then like a really fine white highlight. And I really liked how that came out working off of that base. But now, especially with the contrast paints, I use that. Where is it? It's not Apothecary White. There's another one. Where is
Skeleton Horde one or something?
No. If I want to do, where is it? Here it is. Dreadful Visage. It's kind of purpley. I find that's quite good for like God, not that I paint curtains a lot, but like drapes and cloaks and hanging cloth. I don't know why that seems to always come out really well on stuff like that.
Yeah. White I don't have too much of a problem because I think, as you say, you don't really use white until the very last bit. You use off whites and various other things, so it's not actually that bad.
But even then, I mean, I use my go-to white is Vallejo off white. I won't even use proper white because it's just too bright. I don't like it, and it just seems to wreck everything. It just go whenever I can't control it, it just goes everywhere, and I just generally get very annoyed at using white.
Of course, the other thing I do is just spray undercoat it white and then just do a bit of a wash over it and pick out a few highlights. It's done. Then you don't have to worry at all.
There is that. I mean, another one for me is I think some people have left things on the Facebook group I'm going to get to later. I think it was Rich mentioned painting faces or painting flesh. Even now, I hate painting flesh. I just don't like it. I mean, I think I've mentioned before, but years ago, I used to be able to paint faces really well. In fact, I found some in an old bits box. There's some Space Wolves that I painted from 12 years ago. And I don't know how I used to be able to paint like that. It was absolutely just so good. And now when I paint them, they look crap. They just look really crap. So I think that's a part of my hobby that's regressed slightly, is painting flesh and painting faces. But I imagine
had an issue with that, but then I don't put the same kind of detail work as some of you guys in on faces. As long as they look reasonable at 3 foot away, that's fine by me.
I used to love painting faces. That's the thing. But some of these Space Wolves are brilliant. Proper. I don't know how many paints I used on them, but I was really impressed. But that's not a fear. It's more of it's a dread when I'm painting. In fact, some of those Perry miniatures, you get the visors come separately.
Yeah.
I thought I'd glue that on. I'm not painting faces. There we go. Just save me some.
Just whack a visor on them.
Yeah. I like faces. Or I actually say I've become quite critical of certain sculpts on faces. One of his Dead Man's Hand faces I didn't enjoy. The nose is like really flat. I
right.
think he's meant to look like that. I think it's meant to be all kind of like whether he's got a broken nose.
Oh right, yeah.
It's something like that. But it's really annoying to paint. But I like painting skin and faces. I enjoy painting that more than I enjoy painting guns. I hate painting guns. I get so bored painting weapons. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Because to me, I just grab whatever silver. I don't really care. Whichever one is nearest. Gunmetal, aluminium. I don't care because I'm going to put a wash on it. So it's silver, wash, done. Don't care. That's it. Whereas for a sword, or I might do a nice blued steel or something like that. A Thompson, don't give a shit. Don't care.
How bizarre is that? So you spend hours on a sword, but then you're just...
armor. I'll spend ages on armor. I'll spend ages because I like armor. I'm interested in armor. Guns, don't care. Really... Don't care. I got a load of flack. Topical. When I did those German sentries, because as we've talked about this before, and this is something that Sean Metal Mercenaries that he talks about. We as painters, or when we're painting, and because these things are going to be on the table, we lift color. Oh, because I don't know if you remember, he gave me a load of shit about the berets that I did. They look more red. They look more red than maroon. Christ. But that's because, yes, I want to see them on the table. And I feel like we all do that. Sometimes we paint things a little bit brighter than say they weren't. They would have been. But with my guns on my Germans, I actually I had a bit of a metallic shine on them, and I got absolutely slaughtered by a bunch of World War II enthusiasts who said that I needed to dull those down. But I'm like, but the whole uniform is dull. It's grey and dull and boring. Can I just have a silver? Can I just have a bit of shine on my gun, please?
If I'm painting 15 mil World War II, any metallics, I don't put a wash on. Because they're that big anyway. From 3 feet away, they're going to be even smaller. You're not going to be able to see anything.
There you go. James is with me, and there we go. Absolutely, armor is fun. Guns are crap. They're also like, unless it's a cannon. I paint cannons, but they're not silver. They're brass, or so I can like.
What about 40k or 30k weapons?
No, I don't like doing those either. Unless it's a sword.
You don't have to paint them metallic. You can paint them. You can go second edition and paint them red.
Yeah, but I don't know. No, I just don't. I don't know what it is about guns. I don't like. I mean, you guys saw this. I don't like sticking together vehicles.
I was going to come to that now. I was going to come to that in a second.
I hate it. I don't care. I would prefer to have just the resin blob. I'm with
you on that one, Martin.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I've done one Rubicon kit, and I felt like I needed one of those. What are the operating manual books to actually stick them? I don't care how the drive shaft. Oh. Yeah, I don't care how the drive shaft fitted to the. I don't care. I don't care. But then, if it's a set of 15th century armor, I do care how the plate is articulated and where the tassets go and where how the breastplate is fitted. Because it's just personal taste, isn't it? I like all that. But yeah, weapons I don't really care about. I got muskets down to a T. Muskets were just a case of using wildwood over the whole thing, and then just running silver. Those pens, those AK pens, especially good for this. They've halved I like them because they've halved weapon time. You just go down the top of the rifles or muskets or whatever with the AK pen done. Maybe a wash. I just don't.
I must admit, I do the same but I use paints. But yeah, but then I can't be asked with any of them, so it doesn't really bother me. But I do find that amusing that you just can't deal. With guns, but any kind of other weaponry.
No, that's right. No, I'll sit here and the bows that I do. I've got a three stage process for my long bows, and don't give me and I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a gun that I don't know, like an MG40. Like doing the guns on those tanks was boring. like the actual machine guns.
Yeah,
like the coaxials, just silver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how I do it. So that's
something like that. No. I want,
So do you
Yeah.
think the actual
Strange people.
building
We're strange
of
creatures.
tanks, vehicles, do you think that's sort of prevalent in the hobby? Do you think some people enjoy it and some? Do you think it's a bit Marmite? Like some people absolutely dread making vehicles or put them together, whereas some I don't mind it. There's some kits that have driven me to utter distraction, that have ended up in the bin at one point and tried to back out again.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's an extension of our historical research. But did you like Meccano?
Yes.
See, I didn't. I like the little Lego knights that I could just hit into each other.
Right.
Like, no, I think again, I think it is an extent. Yeah, if you're building, one of these tanks, and you're interested in how the tank operated, and and how that unit operated, then yes, you're going to put more into it. If Rubicon released a cavalry set and and you've got to anatomically put together the horse, then it could be a bit more interesting. But I do like putting together. I just don't enjoy doing vehicles. I don't. Those Warlord ones nearly ended me. The what were they?
The Panthers.
I don't remember what they are.
They're easy. Yeah. Those ones are easy, Martin. For goodness' sake.
They were still. Yeah, but it was just boring.
Yeah, it's boring. I'll give you that. I'm not going to argue because I hate doing kits. I don't care how easy they are or not. I don't want to do
the Flames of War ones. The Battlefront tanks. They just about. Those went together really quick, really easily, and they kept my attention. I was happy. I was like, oh look, I've done these. But I see, I don't care about it when it comes to figures. I don't mind having a 28mm figure in 20 pieces. That doesn't bother me. I know Dom's crying inside.
Because that's going to give Dom.
It's strange, isn't it? It's strange.
The thing is, though, I went to when we were doing the Actor and Panzer stuff, I had all those kits that Warlords had sent me. I made about 3 or 4 of them and got so fed up with making models that I ended up spending a fortune on 3D resin models that I just got sent in because they were one piece.
Oh, don't!
And it was so much easier.
It's just funny. Boats, ships. Sorry. They don't. No.
And I painted some up for it's not the Windy boat game, it's the other boat game, the World War II boat game. I bought those, I painted them. I just found I didn't hate them, I didn't enjoy them. It was just meh. There was just something about them.
I think I can tell you kits like this is the new Ballista from everything. I don't like sticking things like this together particularly. I just don't. I
don't like any of that stuff. I mean, I'm not bothered about painting. I don't want to model things. I love the planning of an army and planning what it's all going to be and how it's going to buy and stuff and having it all collected. But then I want somebody else to paint it because I assemble it because I just have zero interest in it. I do it because I think I've got to. But no.
Yeah. It's so weird, isn't it? Because I love doing these command bases with the Romans, the different shields and modeling, modeling a really cool command stand or a scene. Love it. Absolutely love it. I could sit there for ages doing that. I spent days just doing 2 command bases, building it all up, building up the ground forms and all of that. And I know that somewhere over here I got a tank to do. And I've had that tank now for months. And I really need to stick it together and do a battle report with it. But even though that one's half resin, I just can't. I'm just really struggling.
The other thing I do think with a tank that I do quite like, if I've been doing loads and loads of, loads of individual figures, it's something different to do. Painting it. That I kind of quite like. It just gives me that little bit of a break. And also because it's not going to take that long to do, and it's just a load of dry brushing and other fiddling around with it and putting weathering bits on it. So you can have it, and then basing it, obviously, because only a heathen wouldn't.
That's
And then,
that's always my treat. If I've painted 10 infantry that have just been uninspired, a bit boring because the uniforms the same. If I've got a nice tank or a
done, James, done. You can have them. Yeah. How much tea do you want? You can have it all.
If I've got something interesting at the end, like a tank or a personnel carrier, or just something, a bit different.
No. That's coming out the way first. That's going straight.
Really?
I'm looking at that. I was looking at that. The lovely prize that Jilla's won, and I was looking at that's like my worst nightmare. It's got crew. It's got people sitting in it. No. Is there not a canopy I can put on this?
I was going to say that would exactly be my model on that.
Yeah.
I'd go, right, is there any way I can hide it? Do I actually need them in there? No. Okay, they're not going in.
Medieval carts with loads of baggage in and horses. No issue.
You're just weird.
I get it.
Imagine you've got your project planned, you've got it all bought, and you're working through it. Do you tackle the stuff that you don't like first?
Yes.
That might put you off the project for life, or do you leave it to the end? Or like me, I mean, I love things like that. For me, a gun, not obviously not sticking a gun team together. That's just something different. Painting it, on the other hand, is fine. It's a treat for me. It's something a bit different. So would you get the sort of the terror stuff out the way first?
I do them at the same time. So good examples of the Zulu stuff, right? And the dreaded rocket battery, which at the time I didn't think was going to be. I wasn't looking forward to it, but I didn't think it was going to be as horrific as it is. Watch out, Paul Hicks will now roll.
Just
mentioned
I stuck together the whole of the naval brigade. I did the Gatling gun, which I was really excited about. I was like, "That's cool!" Like that because that had a bit of a scene going on because there was the loader. That all looked fun. And then there was that rocket battery that I don't really want to talk about. I did them all at the same time, so I don't because I think if I leave something that I don't want to paint, I'll never do it. So I do it at the same time as a support element. So when I have painted World War II, like bolt action, I've done my the mortars, which are just dull as piss. I've done them at the same time. Yeah, I've just done them at the same time as doing troops. That's why I think I found those Panthers so hard because I was just painting them. I wasn't working on I could have done some infantry to go with them, but obviously it didn't work out like that. So like this lovely Battle of the Bulge box that isn't there a vehicle in here? Hang on. Sorry, Greg. I'm just gonna. Yeah. So see, I don't even know what that is.
I think there's a Greyhound in there, isn't there?
Yeah. Let's say that. Yeah, it is. I would do that at the same time. I'd probably stick together and undercoat half those Americans and do the Greyhound at the same time, and then finish with the other half of the Americans. I'd do it that way because I think sometimes it would just it would just put me off.
As equally as something ever put you off so much you haven't even started a project. If you think something's so gonna annoy you or scare you or terrify you into giving up on a project. I mean, I'll be honest, Napoleonics. That and I don't find it very interesting. But the actual painting side of it puts me off completely. Just I mean, with my Zulus, I tried to paint two of the British infantry, and I painted two, and I thought I'm not painting any more of them ever again in my life because
they're really cool.
No, I don't like them. I've got some. I've got those Afghan. I painted those Afghan warriors last year.
Yeah,
I got the British infantry box, and I've glued three in together and just not painted them because I don't know. The scheme doesn't do anything for me. I think it would just. There's a big difference between being bored and being scared. Painting white on French Napoleonics would terrify the crap out of me. Some like really massive multi-part kits as well. I mean, look at how intimidated I was by that Huey.
Yeah, you took ages to get around to that, didn't you?
I mean, Dom and I were sort of taking the mickey out of you, but neither of us would even dream
No, we're not.
touching me. I'm just absolute coward. I look at that and that would either be something that I would pay someone to do for me, or it would be a 3D print and it would just be a big, that would be it.
I remember when it arrived, I was like, dead excited, and I took the lid off. I saw 6 bags of sprues, and I put the lid back on and didn't look at it again for another 4 weeks.
That sounds horrendous.
It's very little bit. I suppose again because of the way I approach a project, there isn't much that I kind of puts me off. I'll always, because it's about getting the units done. Generally, I want to just get them on the table as quickly as possible. So I'll start and do a battalion infantry, and then or a unit of infantry, or 2 or 3 of those. So I've got the foot troops, and then I'll treat myself with an officer group or something like that, or a tank if I was doing that, just to break it up. But there isn't much that I've. But I would never touch anything like that. I would. The Huey thing would just would.
No.
And when I look at any model and I'm going to look at it, I think, no, if it's got too many parts, I'm not going to do it. Just not going to do it.
Yeah, I don't. There would never be anything that would put me off doing a project. What puts me off doing a project is not having interest in the period or in the conflict or in that. The model I would work.
Pick that, though, would you?
Well, exactly. So I would. I think the only thing I've ever really done is because World War II, and I am interested in World War II. I just haven't really found the right game to. I enjoy 0 to 200 hours, but it's not an actual World War. It's a fun sort of sneaky in, sneaky out. I like that, but it's not a reflection of that kind of actual World War II warfare. Maybe I should try O Group or Chain of Command, or something like that. But I just doing no model. I don't think a model would put me off a period. But the period itself would prevent me from getting into it, if that makes sense.
No, that's what I'm like with Napoleonics. I just don't find the period interesting at all.
And the uniform doesn't excite you. There's no point.
No, and the uniforms don't help. The whole thing is just a no go for me, because I know I'd end up luckily I've got no friends that play Napoleonics. But imagine if one of them did and said, "Oh yeah, I really want to start playing Napoleonics at 28 mil," I'd probably be like, "Well, you need to find yourself another opponent, because I'm not getting involved." I know that I wouldn't enjoy it. I just wouldn't enjoy it.
I mean, I played games. I love playing it. I love playing war games, whatever they are. And so I played in the past games, periods of history that I have zero interest in. Enjoyed the game, but I wouldn't ever consider painting the units or having someone was talking about. I think it was Paul was talking about was it the 7-year war and all that. And I've played some games of that. It's been great fun. But I would never. It just doesn't interest me to paint an army.
They're the ones with all the fancy coats and the brave.
Exactly. Yeah. And even that wouldn't put me off. It just doesn't excite me. So
yeah,
the game I enjoy, and I'll play a battle and what have you, but it doesn't excite me, so I wouldn't do it.
I can. I'll give you. Actually, I'll tell you in a bit. Actually, do you want to do some OPC?
Yes. So we'll crack on with some OPC, then onto some news, and then back onto.
I've got one hobby fear, which then feeds into.
I've got one as well, which I can come back to. All right. So OPC reminder. We're coming towards the end. This is the last but one of the OPC. So this is the community-run fun project to get everybody painting something. And the theme, basically, the idea was every month there was a different theme that allowed you at the end of the year to have an army assembled, basically. So that'll be next week. Is the final, or next month will be the final army one, which will show off next year, early next year. So this month, so presumably this was October, was terrain features to support your army. So where are they all gone? Here we go. So we'll start with John's entry.
Hey.
Apocalyptic
that's cool.
Accommodation. I like that. That's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that. That's very cool.
I'm trying
Really
to find
nice.
a pen.
I always wondered what would happen to the cast of Scooby Doo, and now we know.
Love it. Carl, this is
This is
Rex,
brilliant. Oh yeah,
Rex vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was showing that being built all the way through on the
Yeah, I think
Facebook page, wasn't he?
He got it off eBay, but it was a bit crap. Bits missing, so we just decided to turn it into scenery, which is a really good idea.
It's a very good idea to do that. Duncan, these are pieces for Kings of War, I believe.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what that is at the front, but it looks like it's had a bad day. So, yeah. Oh, it's Kings of War and Night Stalker, apparently. There you go. Jonas, this was terrain for Battlefront.
Ooh,
No,
nice.
Battle of the Bulge. Sorry.
Battle of the Bulge. Right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very nice. Someone's gone mad with the flower on that one, haven't they? Have you been there, Martin?
Yeah.
Now, Kevin. I mean, Kevin has kept us in awe all year long, I think, with his samurai stuff.
Oh, yes.
So he actually has 2 entries, the Greedy So-and-so. So we'll start with this one. That's his wooden barriers for his
nice.
samurai period, which is just amazing. And then this one. Oh, wrong one. That one.
Nice.
So good.
Samurai Watchtower. Brilliant stuff. Mind you, he was the one that did that amazing samurai castle.
Yeah, which is in the background.
Yeah,
which is in the back. So I mean, he's kind of just done terrain. I mean, just wonderful stuff. This is KS terrain for barrel balls.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Like that as well. That's very good.
like a 10.
And Lewis has done some craters. You do need craters.
Always need craters.
Always need craters. And we'll do one more and then we'll do some more in a minute. We have Mark. This is his windmill.
Hey, I like
It's a
that.
little windmill. I like that too.
Oh, what scale is that? Is that 28 or is that?
I
It was
think
28,
that's
isn't it?
15 or something, isn't it? The size of those figures. Or is it just with perspective? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't have the details, I'm afraid.
Let's
My
get the
notes do not tell me.
I'll get the Father Ted meme out instead.
There you go. There you go. So
Brilliant.
that's the first half. So we'll do some more later on.
Okay, sweet. Really enjoyed those. It was good to see people making terrain. News. Have we got some?
I have none,
All right.
so I'm relying on Dom.
Oh, I've got some. Yeah.
Okay. Brace
Well, I'll
yourself.
keep talking then. Diddle-diddly,
There
diddle-diddly,
we go.
diddle-diddly. I know a lot of people saw this on Halloween night. Wargames
Oh yes.
robbed this box of zombies, which, I mean, how many types of heads did it have in it? I mean,
Lots.
you could pretty much do every single period in history as a zombie from that box set, which is just extraordinary. Yeah, amazing stuff. They also showed off Hudson showed off the sprue for the new sergeants.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're in tooling, as you can see, along with the peasants. So they should be coming along pretty soon. But again, lots of variety. Look at the number of heads in that thing.
I know.
I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bodies, and there must be 1, 2, about 5 different sets of heads for them. So yeah, that's quite impressive. Also, a bit of a throwback for those of us who've been in the hobby for a while. Museum miniatures and their 15 mils. They showed off some of their new 15 mil for their Rome range. So they've done some Samnite warriors and Roman penal troops, I believe.
All right.
Quite nice little models, these. And also some consulars on horseback.
Oh, they're nice.
They're good as
like
well, aren't
those.
they? Very nice. Yeah, so they're out. And then finally, for me, Medbury. showed off some of the figures they've done for this coming up very shortly. Part of their well, they don't do a Kickstarter. You can buy it each month. They release a different set of figures. So these are, as it says, King David II and some of the Scottish lords and their pikemen and archers. Which I do like a Medbury figure. And then some wood elves as well, for those of you of that persuasion. I don't know. Whatever. That's what it says. So there you go. That's what I see.
So, not quite as heavy on the news this week. No, I didn't say anything. I never do.
I think there was a lot. I think there was a few things that came out sort of that everyone had seen anyway. Like we'd already talked about the Dead Man's Hand Kickstarter. I think 2 times. That's live now. There was a couple of
the piano. The piano pictures one has gone absolutely bananas. So not that I've looked at it at all. But
one thing I did see, I don't not news, but people that play the Middle Earth strategy battle game about loads of the miniatures being removed. I saw quite a few upset people on YouTube about it.
I saw a video on that. So are they actually just removing whole armies, or are they going to replace them, or how does it work?
Certain figures or older figures.
Mm.
There's nothing to stop people using them. Like you're not, again, it's that with you can't. Okay, yes, they're not going to be tournament friendly. Yes, they're removing. I think there's certain miniatures that aren't going to have profiles in the new edition or something like that. And I would assume that's because either they're going to get a new profile or a new expansion, or because they just don't care anymore. I don't know. They don't want to make it anymore. It doesn't make them any money, so they're not going to make any more of them. But yes, I don't think that's gone down well. But again, there's nothing to, if you're in a friendly
exactly no.
Why can't you just use the profile that you've already got and house? I don't know.
Think so.
So
I don't understand, but then I don't do that. So, but but then we all are the same, aren't we? It's like bring out a new rule set, and maybe everyone moves on to the new rule set or dumps it entirely because they don't like it. But you could carry on playing the old one. But hey, we're weird.
Absolutely,
it's not going to stop anyone. So, Martin, what was your hobby fear you were talking about before?
Boring scenery in tabletops.
Cool.
That's something that's developed over the last sort of couple of years, and I find myself spending more time caring about how the table looks and how the battle's going to look and how terrain actually looks and how landforms are, than the troops. It's kind of like the way how people say about a video, a bad camera is hard, but bad audio. You can have good audio and a bad, but the good audio will carry it.
Yeah.
I kind of feel the same about a tabletop. You could have, and I'm not saying because let's face it, some people they aren't great at painting and they don't claim to be good at painting and they don't want to paint. Okay. But a good table, a cool looking table, a good looking table will carry models, no matter how well they're painted or how poorly they're painted. A great looking table, I think, personally carries them. And also, because this is going to be one of the subjects on one of the streams in a couple of weeks, will get, I think, in some ways, sells the idea of the period more sometimes than the models do. I found myself caring more about it. So when we set up the Gagofia game at CrackCon, I was getting so twitchy because it's a siege. There's a palisade, a siege camp, and that's it. There's no trees. Because they were all cut down. There was nothing else. But we were still. I was like, no, we're gonna have to have a few trees because it's gonna do my head in. So there was a scattering of a few trees, and there was scrub and brush. But I think like a World War II game, if you've got a nice, it doesn't even have to be a nice looking normative, because I think that scenery, for me, I find scenery very quick and very easy to paint. And I think that if you get like a few buildings together, and then you've got your army moving through it. It just brings everything together. So the idea of me now, like a boring tabletop, actually kind of scares me a little bit, to be honest. I'll be setting up the games with Robin like 2 hours before he gets it. And he'll be bringing terrain as well. And what happened is he'll get here, and then all of a sudden I'll have a panic and we'll move things around, or he'll have an idea. We probably spend longer planning how the table is going to look and the scenario, and then we're like, oh yeah, so should we do? Oh, who are you going to use? What are we going to do? Fuck it, we'll just use the people we used last time. Because I feel like it matters, and I feel like the ground that I'm fighting, to me, in my wargaming anyway, I feel that's the thing. And I don't know if that's just because I'm at the stage now in my life, because I'm so old, where
here it comes.
Where I don't I've got the time to spend building tabletops, and I'm lucky because I have the space. I know some people don't, and they go down clubs and they might not have access to terrain that they can work on. So I just feel that now I've got that, I kind of want to keep the standard of tabletop as high as I can. Does that make sense? I know.
Last year when I ran that game at Ccon of Space Weirdos, it wasn't until about sort of 3 months before I thought I want to do something scenery wise, because I'm not a big scenery maker, and so I wanted to look a bit special. And luckily it was only a 2x2 mat, so I didn't have to do an awful lot of work, but I wanted to stand out, and that's why I spent a shitload of money on that Necromunda scenery, I'll be honest. Absolute fortune on it. I painted it. I did all the effects, the rust. I did all the scratch built scatter scenery. I put those lights in it. And I just thought, I just thought I wanted to stand out. I just wanted to do something to make this a little bit more sort of special. Scratch building that doctor's surgery. That I really, really enjoyed that.
Yeah, especially in games like big battalion games, or like Black Powder Hellseas or whatever, General Army. We scatter all sorts across the tables, carts, bushes, and we just say, right, these scatter elements have no effect. They're just there to make the table look nice, so we'll just move them out of the way. Now I know some people would get a bit funny about stuff like that because they want to use it as cover. We don't. We very clearly state, the hedges are soft cover, for example, or obstacles. The forest, groups of at least 3 trees count as an area of woodland, but single trees are just there to make it look pretty. Breaking like Mike's Ruckus game, where he had like beehives.
Oh yeah,
I just love all that. And it's not vital to the playing of the game. But to me, it's the immersion of it, and that's what I love. Some people don't care at all, and they can have a flat table with 2D terrain, little bit cardboard things, and felt rivers and felt roads, and they're done. And to them, it's the game. It's a game where I like the immersion, and to me, my fear is play. I would rather play with models in sandwich bags than on a.
Well, that the scenery I've been making recently, the sort of the stuff on table mats. I'm going to be using that because I'm going to be getting into sword weirdos soon. And I want to use that as a sort of it's quite good because you only play sword weirdos on 2x2. So putting some of those together, some paths, some stones, some trees. I'm really interested to see how it's going to look.
I got some files you might like then for sword weirdos.
All right.
Dom knows which ones I'm talking about. I'm doing one for him right now.
But I'm looking forward to it. But again, it's something that I've always been not bored of. I just think it's the size and the effort, and I'm limited for space. So I've always got to be a bit careful about scenery. So all my Space Weirdo scenery just fits into one box. That's it. It's all done. It's so small. Stored in one box, not a problem.
I mean, I'm with you on all that because for me, it is the look of a. To me, there's nothing better than a big table of figures playing a big game with lovely terrain. I don't think it necessarily called me. I don't think it would be a fear for me if I turned up and people just had bits of bent cardboard and books under it. If it was still a fun game, it wouldn't.
What,
it
like
wouldn't
the,
bother me.
So I'm sitting there like, "Oh."
What was
Yeah.
that? What was that? Was it the Grand? Was it the Grand London tournament a few years back when?
Yes, that one. Oh, yes, and they said there's all the
just have
you saw those
bits of polystyrene.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That
see. The
wouldn't-
thing
that
is,
wouldn't
there
put
is
me off.
nothing. There's nothing wrong with it.
No,
I just don't want to.
No, I get that.
That's
I get.
That's it.
Yeah.
But you went through a big period of upgrading all your terrain last year
Oh,
or
yeah.
the year before,
Mm.
didn't you? Because you did hovels, you got loads of 3D printed stuff, you got those Normandy stuff.
Yeah.
You went through a big phase of upgrading all your.
But that's
bit-
because
your
I had the
terrain, didn't
bit like you're talking about.
Yeah.
I've got the space and I
Mm.
had the money
Yeah.
to do it, and I thought, right, I'm now going to
Mm.
have what I really, really want, which is exactly that. Now, before that, I was quite happy having, managing with what I had. So I wouldn't say it's a fear. I mean, I'd always, if there's two tables set up and one set up with beautiful scenery and mediocre figures, I'll probably head over to that rather than the table that's got mediocre terrain and beautiful figures, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'd gravitate towards that. Now, if I turned up and we had a game and it was just mediocre terrain, it wouldn't bother me particularly. So it wouldn't be a fear.
I don't think it's
but,
everyone with say mediocre terrain. I think it's just where for me, where I personally am with my gaming, I don't know. I just seem to be quite lucky in that I game with quite a lot of people now who just really enjoy that immersion and really building up like a big battlefield. I mean, like and actually and just the look and feel of it. I think that's the way. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. That would be one. Boring battlefields. That's my
Boring
one of my
battlefields.
hobbies.
Let's have a look at some of the starred comments from our viewers. I got onto Facebook in a second. So, Mobile and Hostel. His biggest fear would be Victrix getting into the 30 Years' War. If that happened, I'd probably have to have my wages paid directly into their account. Carl, he's probably faced having to downsize his collection. He runs out of space, move to a smaller house. What would I get rid of? Yeah.
Actually, that is a big fear for me. Funny enough, I don't know what it is about. You have your family round. My kids came for Sunday lunch on yesterday because it was Sunday. Funny that. And Estelle, my oldest, she was saying about Christmas presents, and she said, "Well, I'm not going to buy you any more toys because you've already got too many that I'm going to have to get rid of when you're gone." And I thought, "Oh, they're charming," but also it does make me genuinely think, "What would I?" It's like that, almost that fear of what's going to happen to them all.
Well, I've been having a bit of a tidy of the stash because I do need to do something with it. And at the weekend, I must have found about 12 copies of the Flames of War rulebook. I'm pretty sure they've been reproducing when I've not been looking. That they're everywhere. Andrew, his fear is if his wife found out how much he really spends.
Yeah.
Yes. Craig, I won't ever get a project finished. Ooh, is it ever really finished though?
No.
That's the thing, isn't it? I think once you get out of that mindset, you're just like, oh, it's just I've completed the core of it, and everything else is just a little bit extra to add in.
Well, I thought I'd finished my War of the Roses, but I was talking to Martin a bit about a
thank you,
new Lord. Thank you for
that.
It's great to have your own sort of
2 hours
researcher.
2 hours, 2 hours, Dom.
You love it, mate.
2 hours and an argument with my wife about why I wasn't listening to the children. And why I was on my phone at the table.
It was a simple question, that was all.
Do you know what I did? I started cross-referencing because I couldn't find a direct answer. I started cross-referencing what lords were alive at the time, how old they were, which ones were involved in. That's why I went through it. Which ones were involved with James II because he died just before that period. So who was actually high up? Who were his generals? Who would have been advising?
So my simple question,
Mary.
if anyone's interested, was: were there any Scottish knights that were with Margaret of Anjou in the War of the Roses? So I could model a unit to go with my Scottish contingent, And that apparently was quite a tricky question.
Well, the problem was like it's not even really known if the Scottish took part, or whether when people say Northerners, they just mean people like Steve, or whether they meant the Scottish. So she did make deals with them. So yeah, I went on this magical mystery tour of Scottish lords or lairds and clans, and then but I nearly started another project because of it. So thanks for that, because I nearly started by going, the Scottish Civil Wars of the 15th century between the Douglases. That's really cool. We could get all you've got to do, Dogs, you've done a load, is build up a couple of the more Scottish regiments. You could have a 15th century Civil War Scottish one.
I'm on for that.
There you go.
Martin, is the invoice in the post?
But I think if it is, it's from Haley. It will just be for me not helping putting the shopping away or something like that, or ignoring my children.
The dangers of having somebody who knows an awful lot about a period that you can just go to. I mean, years gone by, I just would have done the research myself. Now I just say, Martin.
It wasn't that. It was the fact I couldn't just readily find out. That's what,
I know
what
that really. I
and,
could tell that really annoyed you, that it wasn't an easy answer, and you had to go and look it up, and then you weren't sure you got the right one.
It was upsetting. It was upsetting me. And then you just said, "Oh, who's got the easiest heraldry?" It's like this one. This one. I thought it came. If you just said that to begin with, who's got the easiest heraldry? I'd have just got this one. There you go. Just do him.
Well, I wasn't going to do the other one. Jesus, that heraldry was tough.
There you go. Fear of heraldry. There we go.
There you go. Fear of heraldry.
So we got one from Robert. Burning out or losing momentum on a project. Oh yeah, that's a big one, especially if it comes down to a Rubicon Huey helicopter. That was me losing a door rather than a fear. But yeah, losing momentum on a project it's not nice. It really isn't. Louis?
You see, I view that as, it's just you'll come back to it. They don't go off. They'll just sit in the cupboard for a bit, and then you'll come back to it. It's all fine.
Yeah.
Your true love will return. It's fine.
Well, Louis is his biggest fear is actually finishing a project. Then I wonder what to do with it now. Add to it, build some opposition.
No such thing.
There's option. Osmosi, dodgy spray varnish. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We all live in fear
of that. Live in fear of that one. You're right.
Trevor, his biggest fear is any sci-fi weird shit.
We had a very interesting discussion, which I didn't video from the game last week down the club, where we were talking about what we would play next week or what have you, and somebody said, as long as it's not weird shit, and that launched us into a whole discussion about how much we all hated it. And do you know what, Steve? I was the least bothered by it. But then
really?
The others around the table, yes.
Were you the liberal mind of the conversation?
I was the sound.
It makes me laugh because I've met the people that Dom games with, right? And I mean, they're all very, very lovely people. We're all weird as war gamers. They're all very, very lovely people. But yeah, I could see.
Where are you going with this one?
I don't know. I probably should stop. I'm coming to see you in a couple of weeks. I probably don't want to say. They're all lovely.
Here's one from Benjamin. Ultimate fear. One of my last tournaments, a guy placed his arm on the roof of his car and drove off.
Oh!
He only discovered after an hour and a half drive. Drove back and it was all destroyed. I
know. Oh, that is horrible.
Right. I've seen someone when I was on the site. I saw a human bone specialist a very long time ago come and collect samples from a site in London where I was just a lowly little digger at the time, and I saw them put them. They had a 4x4 and they had the flap at the back open, and they just put these samples on there because they were taking them for C14. So it's just loads of little sort of plastic test tubes, and they just drove off, and all these things just toppled off the back. That was in about 2006.
Remember years ago, I dropped when I was playing Space Marine, so it must have been a long time ago. But I'd come back from my mates. We used to play Space Marine on a Sunday afternoon, and I got back to mine and I put it on my table, and the whole thing just fell off. And I didn't look in the box for 2 weeks. I was too scared to see what damage had been caused. Luckily, it was very minimal. A few things have fallen off the bases, but it wasn't an hour and a half drive down the road, thankfully.
I think that happened to Alec a couple of weeks ago. He brought all his 28mm ancients along to the club to play big game of Hail Caesar. Took them home, put them on the shelf, and the shelf collapsed.
Oh.
Yeah. He wasn't happy because he'd rolled really badly that night too. So it was a double whammy.
Combination of a really bad night, it sounds like. David, his biggest hobby fear be a company making miniatures or 3D sculpts based on the creatures and films Martin recommends.
Why me? He's just as bad.
I mean, there isn't a company doing a 3D printed scrotum. If not, why not?
I mean,
it probably is, but not in the organization, mate.
Ragged Staff is looking for its new design. You know, I need a new miniature to sell. We could, I could even put a livery badge on it if you like. We could
do a night riding angry.
I sound like someone off 28 now, Dom. You get
like a space hopper.
Yeah, exactly. With a big smiley face on it.
My, yeah. Dom, with imagination like that, you should be playing Turnip 28.
That's why I don't do it, mate, because that scares me what I come up with.
Paul is being priced out of the hobby.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
That's an interesting one.
And that's probably very fair because the prices have shot up in so many places, haven't they? Seems like every day you get somebody saying their prices are going up.
Well, Hunging Dong, SS Camo. I don't have enough cocktail sticks. That's something I've not attempted for about 4 years now. I can never get it right. Boardman is biggest fear. Varnishing his minis with Chaos Black. I can imagine quite a few people have done that. That sounds utterly horrific. Kurt, dry brushing and highlighting for me because I still don't quite have the hang of it. Makeup brushes is the best.
Makeup brush is the way. Yeah, that's the way forward. Go into your local Boots or wherever and just pick up the cheapest.
Wife's makeup bag.
Yeah, there you go. Honestly, I know I hate the term game changer, but when I was doing the dry brushing on that scenery last year, makeup brushes, I got about 25 for £5.
Oh, they're dirt cheap.
All different sizes and shapes, and some had like combs on. It's a completely different world. But they made dry brushing that just so much easier. So
much easier.
Dry brushing is the way. And Dan, he detests putting vehicles together.
Good man. I'm the same. It's only Steve loves them.
Dom, you and that Semavente model, you absolutely
that was so. Do you know, that was genuine. I don't often chuck away models, but that one very, very nearly did.
Yeah,
go in the bin.
I would recommend, if you want to see someone's slow descent into madness, watch Dom's video, because he starts off really, really enthusiastic. And when you get to the end, I think you just want to break stuff.
It was just horrific.
You can actually, you can feel the will being just drawn out of you.
It's like watching the Mummy as he's sucking his face up. That's what it was. Yeah.
So there's some interesting ones on the Facebook group. So James, I like this one. Assembling white metal artillery kits with no instructions, naming no names.
Oh yes, thank you, Warlord. Lovely.
They've given me more pain than I care to remember.
It's not just Warlord.
Oh no, there's Don, Napoleonics, any nation, any sort. Very, very
just blanket, just
very unambiguous there, Dom.
Are you sure about
that? Rich, painting faces. Even after many years of trying all minor techniques, I always feared painting faces. Alex, people playing Weird War 1. Yeah, I can well imagine. New Sphere Studio, I fear for my own creativity. I crave the time to work on the current project, but always end up wanting to do the next one while looking up things to do as well. Yeah. This is an interesting one from Ken. This is Ken Marshall. When my painting goes on view to other people, irrational because I've rarely had a bad experience, but there's something about that moment when you're about to press a submit button. I say that all the time. I've been sort of seriously showing my stuff on social media for about 6-7 years now, and even now, it's a scary prospect. You don't know what the reception's going to be. I mean, most of the time it's all unfeared or all unfounded because everyone's really nice. And you only get the
blue.
Well, yes, and you only get the occasional cretin that wants to pull you down. But no, I totally agree. That's a genuine fear.
I've got better at that, I have to say. It hasn't been quite as bad over the last, but yeah, that is definitely a thing.
For me, it's when I'm posting something that's like really historical because you never know whether you're going to get some arse hat that wants to really, stick it to you for getting something slightly wrong. I like this one from Sam. The thought of certain people, definitely not Ken, using female sanitary products to save money. that wasn't just a fear. That was traumatic.
Real.
That was traumatic. The abject silence that we sat in after that stream ended. It was
whole protest groups just appeared because of that.
Do you know, he said some amazing things on this stream, but I think that was probably right up there.
Yeah, well,
he says more amazing things not on the stream.
He does actually.
Because believe it or not, there is a filter.
A bit of
there is a filter. You probably don't believe us, but there is a bit of a filter.
Yeah, well, sort of. David, yeah, definitely white paint. It's taken me a long time to get over my version to yellow. Jeff, resin pours. I've never really done this. I've used the Battlefield the Vallejo water thing with actual resin.
Yeah, I've never done that.
When you work so hard on a scenery piece just to put chemicals over it, hoping for the best, yeah, I'd be terrified of that as well. As Bob Ross would say, here comes the bravery test. Simon, rigging windy boats. Did too. We'll never do any more because
mine's not really a fear of ever trying it. I just watched all of you do it and just went, you know what? It's just not. I'm not even gonna enter that space.
No,
it's not for me.
I did. That's the closest I've ever come to sort of being like possessed by Basil Fawlty. I was literally stomping round because I couldn't get him to work.
You see, true to form, I just found a cheat. That was easy. So.
I think I just remembered the first thing. Sorry, the first unit I posted in a Napoleonic. Oh dear. The first unit I posted in a Napoleonic forum was my British Napoleonic Cambridgeshire the 30th to triple X's, and I had the colours the wrong way round. Which one goes on the right and which one goes on the left?
Did they burn you at the stake for that?
Might as well have done. I swapped them round. I actually, at that point, because it was right at the start, I wasn't doing YouTube or anything. I cared enough to go and change around. Now I think I'd just send back a torrent of abuse.
Do you know, I have to say that's one of the times when I spend an awful lot of time working and checking references and what have you, is putting the flags to make sure they are the right way around, because even when I was doing the Union regiments for the ACW, I had to check and double check and triple check which way round the two flags go.
I mean, the thing is that even with like a big disclaimer at the beginning, I mean, some of my bolt action stuff that I used to post in the bolt action group, I used to start off with, these aren't historically accurate, this is just how I want them to look. It wouldn't make a difference. There would still be someone who'd want.
Oh no, they still come in on you. Yeah.
So.
They would absolutely. If I was doing any Napoleonics now, I'd redo them and have them in sort of ragged lines rather than nice, neat files. I'd make them all kind of ragged and all over the place. And like I said, like the last unit I did had way more grenadiers and fusiliers because I liked how it looked. So I'd probably go out of my way now to upset people by doing stuff like that.
Steve, you're a broken man. Much as I love your stuff, but you're wrong, and you're getting a yellow card for that one. Sorry, mate.
God, yes.
You're just wrong.
Interesting one here from Ken, the eccentric man. Basing figures. I can paint an army, but then struggle with how I'm going to do the scenic base for them. See, I'm weird because I start off with the basing idea and then decide the troops. It's a strange one. But I imagine I know some my mate Ian that I game with, his fear and loathing and just general aversion to basing is legendary. He hates it. He absolutely hates it. He hates basing, and in fact, he bases all his figures with mixed herbs, and he gets his wife to help him. They have like a conveyor, a conveyor thing. He puts the glue on, and she sticks him in the mixed herbs, and he's done. He always, I don't think he's just got the mental.
You two have you two have ruined me for basing, because I just used to stick it on a bit of card and put a bit of flock around it and think that's done. Now I actually start thinking, oh shit, I better make an effort. I mean, obviously I don't go as far as you two, but still, yeah.
Nah, I do like a good basing. It just sort of adds to it. Andrew, new versions of rules.
Okay.
The majority of these seem to take a step back in playability or complexity. I know you don't have to upgrade, but at some point, the majority of folks suffer FOMO as new things only come out for the latest version and cave in. It's not, for me, it's not really a fear as such. It's more of an annoyance, especially with like when they ruined X-Wing. That was more of an annoyance than anything. It had to be done, but not in the way they did it.
No, I'm with you on that. An annoyance rather than a fear, particularly.
Yeah, I mean, especially if, I get it. Games, they move on. They get FAQs. They get errata. Things get balanced or nerfed or whatever, and they've got to do a new version. But it's still an annoyance. And the last one from Silas, one word: tartan.
Oh god, yes.
You just need the right paint for that. Tartan paint, all done.
There's a picture of me in a kilt at my mate's wedding. I keep wanting to try the tartan on that. It's green and blue, I think. And it might just be the national. Or
that would induce fear in me, seeing you in a kilt. Just
really? No, I mean the whole get up. The whole get up for his wedding. It was quite a day.
Didn't you have one, Dom? Didn't you have one more?
Yeah. My one was going to be cleaning up figures. I have a fear of doing that, particularly with resin, because I am cack-handed, as we know, and the number of arms and things that fly off when I'm trying to strip off bits of fleshing and what have you off them. It's not my own fear. I'm not worried about myself being stabbed, although I do that quite frequently with a knife. But it's just the destruction of the figure. And I was thinking about that. Just these Bavarians that you did for me, Martin. Just realised all the ammo boxes have got flashing on them. I'm going to have to bloody spend the next. Yeah, some of them. Yeah, bizarrely.
Oh, well, what their supports? Oh, I probably thought that they were
You probably thought they were part of the model. To be fair, when I first looked at them, I thought, blimey, they got really weird tassels.
Yeah, but the front, it's only like you only have to do half because you're not going to see the ones on the front rank.
No, true.
Then you got to do half.
You see, then I've been chipping off there, and I've taken off half an ammo box, so he's going to have to go in the front rank. Yeah, well, never mind.
Oh, I only did 96 of them for you. It's not that bad.
I'm not moaning about that, but the whole idea about just deflashing figures is
for me it's more why is it as well? You be 95% to paint a figure and you'll spot a more like where is that?
Or you put it on the turntable to take a photograph of them afterwards, and then you spot it. Then it's like, oh, for Jesus, how did I?
It's like, how I've seen this miniature up close for days. I've not seen it. You stick it on very, very, very annoying.
Very annoying.
Right, we're quite close to the end, so we got the rest of the OPs.
Oh yes, let's go through the rest of them. Let me get my piece of paper again, so I make sure. So the rest of the OPCs, as a reminder, it's all terrain stuff. So Warren with his weird shit. Look, I mean, the soul collector. That is apparently.
Of course it is.
I mean,
I knew that when you said that.
Did you?
Soul collector. Yeah. No.
That's also the name of an album by a band called Panzer Christ.
Hang on, is that supposed to be in this one, or is this an old one? No, it's not.
No,
Sorry,
that's one that I
that's
uploaded.
not one of the terrain things. Ignore that one. You didn't see that, people. This was the
Didn't
one
see
you were
that.
supposed to see. Sacred
Yeah.
Machines, because that's even more normal.
It is.
Well, I just like to say that we still, that other thing could have been terrain as far as
Yeah,
what
we
he
just don't
does
know.
goes.
I mean, I've no idea what it was, frankly, at all.
It's
So that's
awesome,
that.
though.
It does look amazing.
That does look really good.
Lewis. Oh no, we did Lewis's creators. Sorry. We've done Pat. This is he's done some European farmhouse.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
Nice.
Oh, sorry, I keep doing the creators. They keep coming back. Yeah, European farmhouse. They're taking over. I'm losing control.
I do like that. That's nice.
It is nice, isn't it? Samuel, this is his barn. Do you think that's scratch built? It looks like it, doesn't it?
Oh, it was very cool.
Very good indeed. Very nice indeed. Richard, this is scenery for his. What's that for his? Oh, Assassinate Army. Wow, yeah.
That is.
Oh, because he's been working on that, and that's been amazing to see.
That is really, really nice.
I like them a lot. I like them very much. Stephen, look at that.
Whoa.
Station Zebra,
wow.
apparently. That's extraordinary. That is extraordinary.
That is fantastic.
Some people around here are so talented. Tony, this is his own.
Yes. He brought this to press.
Oh, yeah.
That was on his table for his Lord of the Rings thingy.
It was indeed. It was very impressive. Very impressive.
I'm on hand for hobbits to run round, apparently. That's what he described it as. Paul, this is some tents and scatter terrain.
Oh, nice.
Very, very good. We always need a bit of scatter terrain, don't we?
Oh, we do. Yeah.
You always need that. And then Don Warren, Joseph's. I mean, what the heck? Undead living quarters for his skeletal.
That's the old Garden of Moor set. That is one of the best sets that GW's made. Terrain wise, it had all these fences and gravestones with it as well. Lovely stuff.
I like the way they call it the unliving quarters.
Have you just seen this? Have you seen this? Right, I just want to
creep.
But I was thinking about that the other day. I was like,
what happens if it ever finished? Yeah, I don't know. What were we doing on a Monday night? Blimey.
I don't know. We have to reincarnate like Doctor Who and just like get.
Blimey. Tony, another entry. This is his La Haye Sault model.
Oh, very nice.
Which I like very much. Gotta have a La Haye Sault if you're playing Napoleonics or anything. And then finally, Andrus. These are his field and some coffins.
Lovely stuff.
Which I assume is that silver bayonet or something like that, possibly.
It looks like that, yeah.
Very much so.
So
there you go. So that is all of the OPC done for this month or for last month. So the current month, this month, November, is a battalion. So I think the plan is that you don't have to do an entire battalion this month. It's just you add to your existing forces to create a battalion. I mean, obviously, if you're mad like me and want to do a whole battalion, then that's entirely you can do it, no problem at all. So yeah, that is it. And then the last one of the year will be to show off your entire OPC, which we'll probably do in the new year.
We're going to do in January.
In January,
the Army Showcase. We're going to see if Warren and Paul and Tony will join us.
I think we should.
For that.
I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone's finished. It's been interesting seeing people adding to them over sort of the last 11 months.
Absolutely.
I realised I hadn't done any for a while, so I've been doing some tonight. So
as we're talking about future streams, shall I throw up the menu?
Oh yes,
go for it.
So of what's coming. So we have a really full itinerary right up to Christmas, and we've got some nice surprises on the
Yes.
way. So obviously today we were here for Steve with our hobby fears. Next week we're on my channel with James Morris, who's been in the chat tonight, author of Midgard. We're going to be chatting about Midgard, the process of writing it, what it's all about. This is probably the most excited I think I've seen the community about a new set of rules for quite a long time. And it's really nice to see everybody actually excited and orders and just thinking of different ways they can use this, especially because the rules, from what we can see, and I'm sure James explained, they can be used for fantasy or they can be used for historical stuff as well. So that's next week over on my channel. The week after that, we got another treat because we're over on Dom's channel, where we're being joined by Andy from Friends of General Haig to chat about winged hussars for 2 hours. And egg sandwiches on the battlefield.
God.
Hobby fears, actually, there you go. There's another hobby fear. So no, we're really looking forward to that. And then at the end of the month, we're back on my channel, and we are chatting about scenery and how important it is in a war game. But it's not just going to be us sitting around going, I need this, or I want to see trees. It'll actually be, we'll probably have a look at different periods and say, like, let's have a look at the ancients. What would be some quintessential terrain for ancients, for Dark Ages, for Napoleonics, for World War II? What are some things that you should, if you've got these in your collection, then
what's non-negotiable on the table?
Like a pre-painted pillbox supplied by over to Steve. So that is what is coming up, and then in December, let me just remind myself quickly. We have 4 streams in December. We're going all the way up to the 23rd. We've got 4 in there. So we've got should have another guest so long as that comes on, and there will be the traditional end of year piss up, basically. But we might as well say, because last year I remember that James Cutts ran PCP bingo for us. Well, James has kindly agreed to return to run round 2. So I'm sure because I remember he sent out bingo cards and all sorts. So James will be running that again this year. We asked him, and he agreed with trepidation to return. We have some 10% beer, which Sam Ferguson gave us at CrackCon, which we are holding for that night.
It's going to get really messy, isn't it?
It's going to be an interesting one. So we're really looking forward to it. So we've got a very, very full set of streams. And of course, if you guys have got any ideas for stream topics, or even if it's guests that you'd like us to get on, or people you'd like to hear from, shoot us an email, say in the comments, and we'll do our best. Or we'll direct you to the stream where we already chatted about it.
Do you know what? I'd actually forgotten about that beer that Sam gave us. I wasn't quite with it last week. Went to the fridge at the weekend. I was like, "What the hell? Oh God!" I had all these memories. 10%.
So I have 2.
Yes, you've got 2. I don't know how you.
So
you must have Kens.
Sam, did you get one for Ken? Have I ended up with Ken's as well? Did he just put that? Because I'll bring it down to you, Dom, and you can give it to Ken.
All right.
I'm glad we're saving it. I might build some immunity to it by then. It does look interesting.
Just put it on your shelf for the next 2 months and just look at it.
That's horrible. Oh, dear, It's going to be messy.
Let's have a look at what some people have been posting up in their Facebook group. If you aren't a member of the Facebook group, why not? You should be. Womble over to the Plastic Crack Podcast Facebook group on Facebook, strangely enough. Answer the 3 questions.
We've had a lot of new people join recently.
Over
1,500 members now.
My particular favourite one was one from last week when the period that she played was dating.
Yes, that was quite funny.
Oh yes, we discussed that one off and on. Also on your channel, Steve, we discussed that.
That was an interesting one. I mean, to me, it might have been fake. I'm not quite sure what you guys, but it seemed like a bit of a scam to me.
We let her in anyway.
But did you?
No.
Right. So hopefully these have all uploaded properly. I think they have. I don't think they have. No, there's some in there anyway. Anyway, let's start off with something from Ashley. He's been painting an Anglo-Dane warlord. Look at that.
Oh, I do.
Oh, very
I do
nice.
enjoy the Anglo-Danes. That's very cool. Are those hand-painted
good.
shields?
Looks like it.
Oh, very nice. Very, very cool.
Awesome.
Apparently that he's painted that up for Saga. It would also probably work for Midgard as well.
It would.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the things I've noticed James has done on the videos is that depending on the level of general, so if he's a 3 whatever general, then you put 3 figures on him on the base, which I think is quite clever. I'm going to do that.
Easy.
So my Earl of Warwick with 12 figures on his base. What happens? Actually, that's just reminding me. Of course, the other bit of news isn't the Age of Chivalry on pre-order now?
Yeah, I think we talked about it last week. We showed off all
did
the
we?
yeah,
Oh,
because I showed all the different armies in it. You weren't paying attention.
Oh no, I know. It just wasn't. I think it only went up for pre-order this week. I think it's only up for.
Possibly.
It,
you could be right. Yeah, you could be right. Yes.
Up next is James has been painting some of the few epic ACW picked up at
yes.
These are look at them.
Oh yes,
that's
very nice.
Is that the right color of butternut? Is that the right?
No, Don's already had a dig about blue again. I'm gonna.
What did James win? I can't remember what James won just here. What did he win? James won a. What did he win? Oh, he won a World War II bunker. Okay, yeah, right. They don't go with that.
We don't go with that.
We had this from Paul Crouch saying, my biggest fear, the ACW player who primed his Confederate army with grey, dry brushed the flesh, and then he's got all his army fully done. Sounds perfectly fine to me. Sounds perfectly reasonable. There we go.
So these featured earlier. I'm going to show them again because I
put them in the. Oh yes,
yes.
Just look. Just look at those.
Stunning.
That is something else.
Just if you go into the Facebook group, he's posted a lot more. And
I'd love to be able to paint that
of how good they are. Just everything about them is just
beautiful.
Just top notch. Here's one for Dom. It's from David.
Oh.
It's an orc.
I hope it's weird. Oh, it is. Oh, good.
Oh yes. Oh, that's an awesome. That's classic.
That's a classic. That really nice. I love the scaly effect he's got on the body. The different greens.
That is really cool.
Really nice. Sticking with the fantasy, Mark has been painting it some 10mm undead because we all want 10mm undead.
Well, obviously we do. It's definitely the upcoming thing, isn't it? 10mm.
10mm, yeah, a lot of 10mm.
I'd say, I think people want to do big fantasy battles.
Yes,
yeah, I think you're right.
I need to start cracking on more with my my orcs and goblins from Rock. There's a game from John. He was playing.
Oh, what's that? Oh, is
it Victory at Sea? Or is it
it's
the Cruel Sea.
That's Cruel Sea, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
The one with the gunboat, the torpedo.
Torpedo boats and stuff. Yeah.
No, it's good seeing that played.
Yeah.
Up next is Kurt with a Kings of War ogre on a chariot with a crossbow.
Well, obviously.
I
mean, that's awesome.
That's really good. There's a few hardcore Kings of War players in the Facebook group, and they do post up a lot of them.
I do enjoy it when I play it. I just so many games, so little time.
What I do like is the multi, talking about basing, all the multi basings they've all done on their figures. It's
oh yeah.
Up
next,
units.
I really like these are from Sam. These are some Frostgrave cultists. I absolutely love this box. Like you said, it's like a kit basher's dream. This because it can be used for so many of the different kits. It actually reminds me of CrackCon because in the afternoon, when people went to CrackCon, got a goodie bag, got a sprue, all random sprues in your goodie bag. in the afternoon at CrackCon, Dave Brown came up to me. He was like,
Oh.
I was like, yeah. He went, I got this in my goodie bag. And it was that sprue, the Frostgrave Culture.
Yeah.
And he was like, not for me, but I know you're into your weird shit, so here you go. And so he gave it to me.
Do you know, I actually deliberately gave him that bag just because
Oh,
I knew
you
it would wind
cruel,
him up. I looked in before I gave it to him.
Oh my God. I'd love to have seen Dave have a go at painting that, though. I don't know. It's just something.
I said to him, "You can't swap it. You got to do it."
Well, it's in my sprue pile.
How disappointing!
Up next is Spukari with some feudal Japan and
nice.
ubiquitous head.
Oh,
yeah.
He's nice. Love the basing. The basing's fantastic. But
yeah, didn't he say it's the first time he's done snowy
he's
basing?
His first time working on feudal Japanese as well, which is surprising because that looks really, really good. More 10mm this time from Tony. Some 10mm Marauders.
Cool.
Again, they're from Rock Minis. Brilliant miniatures. I really need to start painting more of mine, but they're really nice. And I'm pretty sure you can play Midgard at 10mm as well.
No, I think you can play anything you like.
Up next is an insight into the world of Landsknechts and Steve.
Oh God!
Because he's been painting some Landsknechts.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe that's going to be one unit. I think it's going to be there's 93 figures he's painting for that pike block.
Jesus, 93.
But that's look at the amount of yellow he's painted as well. It just gets even more interesting. And we showed it briefly before, but here again is Warren's Soul Collector.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Dom, when are you painting yours?
I mean, when I learn what it is, probably. Yeah. I mean, that's a heck of a model, though, isn't it?
It is.
Mean, I have no idea what it is, but it's quite a model. Yeah.
Very, very good. Well, again, thanks to everybody for posting up their games and their work in progress and their projects that they finished on the Facebook group. I always love seeing it. I keep saying that the mixture and the diversity of things that people work on is just brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine once Midgard is properly released, I imagine that's going to be featuring very heavily in the Facebook group. I've already got plans. I've got plans.
I think a lot of people's collections that they've already got, for certain games are going to get repurposed, or we're going to see a lot. People are going to be breaking out, just older collections of miniatures and just giving them a fresh, maybe a fresh coat of paint and getting them on the table again. I think that's going to be pretty cool.
And the fact that if you played at 28mm, you just got that 12 centimeter frontage.
Yeah.
Big bases. Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Big bases.
And it's just going to be good. It's like watching Vikings fighting orcs or undead fighting Normans. It's going to be really good. I'm really looking forward to it.
We're officially take it into the weird shit, didn't you?
No, I didn't. Well, we're officially into overtime because it's 5:10, and I think my voice is on its last legs. It's about to give up because it hurts. It hurts immensely. Big thank you to everybody that tuned in tonight and discussed your fears with us. So don't forget, next week we are over on Martin's channel with James, the author of the aforementioned Midgard, where I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to be picking
me too.
Brains
it's going to be a good one.
It's going to be really interesting.
Then we will be, if you were one of the lucky winners, we will be in touch, or if we're not, and you beat us to it, just send us an email at theplasticcrackpodcast@gmail.com for your address, and these prizes will be sent out to you. Thank you again to Warlord and to Warbases for sending this stuff over, and congratulations to all the lucky winners.
Brilliant. Don't forget, we are sponsored by Bows and Swords. Use the code PCP5 when you're checking out on the web store to get a 5% discount off your already discounted.
It does work on Midgard.
And it does work on Midgard. Yes. So, happy hobbying for the rest of the week. We'll probably catch you in the Facebook group. But until next week, take it easy, guys. And we'll see you all in a week. Bye.
Bye.